So I actually am not even intending this to be like a career, tribute, retirement, J.J. Watt rebuild. I actually wanted to do a Raiders one more than ever, because I'm not saying that it's like the most shocking thing that Derek Carr got, quote-unquote, benched, but it's a little surprising considering it, Derek Carr didn't seem like the biggest issue that the Raiders had, but, I mean, once again, I could see, I get it, right? I get it, but I guess we're going to go with the Cardinals because I have already done a Raiders rebuild, and in that rebuild, I obviously replaced Derek Carr, so we're going to rock with this Arizona Cardinals team that has really never been taken seriously. Even last year when they were undefeated, nobody truly believed they were an undefeated team, right? Like, nobody really believed, yeah, they're an undefeated team. They're good. They're going to be one of the best. Like, nobody is like, well, sooner or later it's going to happen, right? And obviously they lost to the Packers, and then they spiraled down from there. It didn't help that Kyler Murray got hurt on the very final play of that game, and it was kind of not great for the last, for like the next month pretty much. But speaking of not great for the last several months, the Cardinals team that has, they've competed in a lot of games. They just haven't really finished well. Kyler Murray still feels like he would rather run around behind the line of scrimmage than actually read a defense and just throw. I don't know if he can actually see the middle of the field. I suppose the height, not even memeing, is a literal factor. Marquise Brown has been good. He's pretty much been exactly what they've expected him to be. I don't know if anyone expected him to be like, I don't even know who you would compare because he is a smaller guy. It's not like, it's kind of like what Waddle is now for Miami maybe, or Tyreek Hill or something like that. But he's been good. Hopkins obviously been good after that suspension. Rondale Moore, I'm going to be honest with you, I completely forgot he's here. And then Robbie Anderson, he's done nothing. He's done nothing. James Conner, serviceable. Hudson, has he even played 4 games? Okay, well, we're going to bench him after 4. Same with Humphries, about 8 games. He's been pretty good for the Cardinals in his career. He's never been a guy that's gotten like the recognition across the league, but he's been definitely serviceable, and that's probably why they paid him. But obviously injured this season for the last, half the season pretty much. Interior of the line, though, especially with Hudson being injured, has been terrible. Beacham's not the worst, but obviously we definitely need to improve that position, especially from a rebuild standpoint. And Ertz, I mean, it's got to be his career, right? Like, his career's got to be over. It's like, I just don't see at this point, at his age, this point in his career, why he would try and rehab it and give it another go. Maybe rehab it to, improve the rest of your life, but as far as, rehabbing it to return to football, I just don't think it's worth it, but that's up to him, I guess. Defensively, Simmons has been moved around quite a bit on this line, team, on this defense. Played a bunch of different snaps at different positions, but since you can't really do that in Madden, we're just going to put him at linebacker because that's our biggest need. Edge, we need new edge. Safeties, it's a good safety unit. It's obviously a good safety unit. Byron Murphy still hasn't taken that step. And then Marco Wilson, I love the interceptions against Brady, but that's kind of all he's got going on. Zach Allen, I have no idea how great he is. It could, a lot of it could be J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt's been pretty good. It's never been a problem of, is J.J. Watt good? The question is, can he stay healthy? And he's done a pretty good job this year. Obviously, his last season, according to him, with his retirement news, which definitely opens up another positional need on the defense. So when thinking about what this team should draft, I think it's actually tough because they do have a lot of great pieces on offense, and it's tough to pass on a franchise tackle. But with this team's edge, I think you have to go edge rusher, right? You have to go edge rusher. Just hope the Bears maybe go for Jalen Carter or something, and then if you're at pick 3 or something, you can get edge, maybe Will Anderson. I don't know, but need edge badly. Obviously need 2 edge, really. In general, the full edge position. Interior wouldn't hurt, corner wouldn't hurt. Offensively, obviously a lot of linemen. Tight end might be a thing, as McBride's not a great overall here. He's going to be 23 years old, 72 overall. Lots of speed, but, I mean, can he do it? We'll see. But, yeah, let's get into this rebuild. Obviously, I'm going to start benching players, around the weeks that they physically were injured. I'm going to bench Hopkins here in a moment. Because he missed the first 8 games, and then after the first 4, Hudson's going to be... Don't worry, I'm not going to mess it up. Probably. I probably won't mess it up. Just like you would not be messing up if you left a like and maybe subscribed. If you're not new, appreciate your continued support. Thank you. Oh, also, I didn't mention it, but I am going to be moving DeAndre Hopkins back to an X Factor because clearly the only reason why he is not an X Factor, at least a superstar or X Factor, is because of the suspension. And we obviously know that everything is political, and at the end of the day, they're going to separate themselves from anything that, could make them look bad, which I know it's not quite as bad as some of the other guys that they have dropped, but, a suspension for quote-unquote cheating, that's the reason why he dropped. He went from literally, I don't know if it was X Factor at the time, but it was at least Superstar or X Factor to Star Development Trade because of that. I'm going to go with Route Tech and Red Zone Threat. I think that's fair. I don't really care because abilities don't matter in Sim. But obviously, I'm not going to take any crap for anyone. You want to complain about it? Cool. Doesn't matter. Because if he's a 95 overall in the game, he should be an X Factor. The reason why I never did it for Deshaun Watson is because, Hopkins, pretty good guy. I would imagine. Not Scumlord. All right, so maybe we aren't screwed. Cameron Thomas, a recent draft pick, obviously, of the Cardinals, Star Development Trade, and 20k XP, which is pretty big, actually. Maybe he will be the guy. He's still a really low overall, but now he has 5 upgrade points. I would assume Power Rusher is going to be what we're going to be working on here, so that's what we're going to do. Started with 78. Let's see what he finishes with. All right, some pretty decent upgrades, it seems. And, of course, I say that the first time we don't get a thing, which will now put him at 84 power move, 79 speed, which is pretty solid. 6 power move upgrades with a speed. Beautiful. Maybe I forgot about contracts. Just maybe. Rodney Hudson, I can't imagine. I just can't imagine keeping him around with all of the injuries he's had. I just can't. Byron Murphy at this point, I feel like they have no choice, right? I don't feel like he's worth that kind of crazy money. A 5-year 55, I think you deal with. Might even be a lower contract. Depends on, what the negotiating power is either side. Zach Allen, he's actually not terrible. How old is he? 25, 26, 25? I think you give him that 2-year. I wouldn't say it's a prove-it deal, but a 2-year 18 where it's like, I don't know. Okay, I guess not. Maybe try to get 2-year 20. I don't know if you're the long-term guy. I don't know. I feel like you probably don't know if you're the long-term guy, but a 2-year 20, you're set for life. So, we both just scratch each other's backs here. Here we go. The playoffs. I can't wait. Can't wait to be in them. Obviously not, but a 28-21 loss, which is not terrible, to be honest. Winning a game against the Falcons before that, definitely can happen, but I would have loved us not to have. That would have been great, but not the way it's going to go. I suppose you get a kind of a preview of how the game thinks things are going to go. The Bills 14-3, the Eagles at 14-3, 13-4 for the Chiefs, Niners, Cowboys, Vikings, Chargers, Ravens, and Bengals at 11-6, 10-7 for the Dolphins, Steelers, and Giants. The Jaguars at 9-8, and they have the Packers winning out at 9-8. Buccaneers getting their crap division win. And where's the Commanders? Just losing games left and right. Of course, they don't have the tie in this situation, but that really wouldn't have mattered as Green Bay won out, which is interesting. Not necessarily something I care too much about. It probably actually helps us because, long term here. Wow. Not great numbers here, but, long term speaking, I guess you want the Packers to have worse draft picks, I suppose. But Marquise Brown, 900 yards, 11 touchdowns. Rondale Moore, 887 yards with 6 touchdowns. Zach Ertz, I completely forgot to bench, but it doesn't matter because, like I said, I think I'm just going to let him go if I can. I'm going to try to remove him because I just think, is anyone talking about him potentially retiring? Is this not a super high chance thing to happen? I know he, got paid a bunch of money, but really? I don't know. DeAndre Hopkins, nowhere near the season he had in real life. But I can't do anything about it. I don't have the power that EA does that they're too lazy to use to, bad sacks allowed here before the tackles, to actually put the real-life stats for wins and losses and all that up to this point in Week 17. Zaven Collins could be a superstar with that tackle set. Simmons, not bad numbers. Sack totals in general, pretty abysmal stuff. Interceptions, of course, some decent numbers. Kicking, Prater was pretty good. Andy Lee was pretty good, but both of those guys are going to be gone as they're probably going to retire. We're not going to have any awards, but we're just going to quickly take a look. Got a bunch of Rams awards there, which is very interesting. Rams, Vikings, it's some interesting ones in there. They got the Chargers and the Eagles in the Super Bowl, with the winner being I said the winner being the Eagles by 7. The same points we lost our game to the Niners for last game, which thankfully so. Looking at DevOps offensively, had none. Ertz, of course, thankfully didn't matter because he didn't dev up, and I don't know what I'm going to do. Do we keep him as the starter? It's like I said, I think he should retire. I really do. Defensive numbers, Isaiah Simmons goes up in dev. However, Zaven Collins, who had all those tackles, does not. I mean, a little bit of an L season, but I suppose Simmons, a pretty high draft pick for this team, looks to be the guy at the inside linebacker position here, looking at that 83 overall superstar dev. So he's going to be a guy that we're definitely looking to pay. And as far as, who we're letting go, all the olds, really, all the olds pretty much. And I kind of hope Zach Ertz just retires here on his own, but don't think that's going to happen. Tight ends got to last long in the game. JJ Watt is still here, but he shouldn't be because obviously we know about real life. I'm going to try to make him 40 years old. Not that it's going to change anything because he's still going to play another season, but it is what it is. Probably should have done that before the season, did anything, but whatever. And then Rodney Hudson, like I said, with the 2 injuries he's had, the injured seasons he's had, there's just no way this team brings him back on anything, unless it's really small. And if you're him, you'd probably rather just go to free agency, hope someone takes a risk on you, and you might even have a chance at a Super Bowl, whereas this team definitely does not feel like they're winning a Super Bowl next year. It's safe to say. And for our retirements, the kicker, the punter, the right tackle, and Colt McCoy all retire. It would be nice to find a lineman in here. I don't think that's going to happen, though. Garner Johnson, there is a chance that he does hit free agency. I don't know what the Philadelphia Eagles kind of cap situation is, especially with how well he was playing before his injury, what his market is, but overall, that is not a position of need for us. Josh Allen. Alrighty, so there are a couple of names. They're not great names, but there's decent names. I think the first and foremost thing to know, though, is what draft pick we have, really. 5 and 12 seems like maybe pick 5, which is good, but not great, and it is pick 5. Damn, why do I know things? Based on the draft picks, there should be a chance for us to get Jalen Carter or Will Anderson, as you have Seattle at pick 3. They let Geno go, which it's tough to say. I think in real life you have to re-sign him to something, but they need quarterback in this realm, and that's got to be where they go, right? And then you have the Texans. If you pass on quarterback at all, I don't care what their needs are. You pass on quarterback in this class, that's tough, especially in the game. I would not work with Davis Mills in the game. Real life, maybe, I don't know. But what else did we have? We had the Bears at number 2. They are the biggest risk for Will Anderson or Carter. That's why you say either or. And then pick 4. Who the hell was pick 4, actually? Pick 4 is another team with quarterback need. If I can freaking find them, idiot, stupid. The Falcons, who have Mariota and Ritter. Unless you're going to rock with, Ritter, probably not the best option. Wow, their receivers suck. They have no receivers. Where do they all go? Obviously, Calvin Ridley's gone, but, what? We have nothing going on here? Maybe they need wide receiver now? I just don't think, they need pass rusher for sure. I just think they need to go offense, with whether that be wide receiver or quarterback. So, very good chance we get Carter or Will Anderson. I would guess Carter would go before Anderson, but I don't know. I really don't want to, not go for a pass rusher here and get screwed. I kind of want to see what Josh Allen's looking like in real life. He's always been a guy to me that's been, up and down, so I'm not really sure. He looks like he kind of sucks. Doesn't look like he's doing super well. 87 finesse, 86 speed. How good did he play? 9.5 sacks. I feel like they'd probably re-sign him. 2 teams are interested. That would be a 5-year deal. We would be locked in, but it's not the worst contract. 5-year 85, where would that put us? It would put us as the number 1 team. Definitely would. Could go cornerback and Ringo at 5, so corner is an option. Don't really want to pay Jamel Dean because I've seen that a billion times. Anyone else? Maybe a lineman, perhaps, would be kind of nice to get one of those guys. All right, let's see if we get any of our players here. We get everyone but Hargrave, which is fine. Josh Allen and Terrence Steele. 4-year 40 for Steele, which is pretty costly, but he's an 80 overall, 26-year-old, he's fine. And then Josh Allen, very costly as well, but 9.5 sacks, 86 overall. Just need to get him back to superstar, and we're cooking. And I offered Javon Hargrave a 1-year, $15 million deal, and he said no. So I understand the word no. I know when no means no, and I'm out of here. I could never play for Cleveland. Isaiah Simmons has a 5th-year option. I think in real life you probably, you extend him there with that 5th-year option because you still want to decide, is he going to be a guy that we can implement into the defense? But for us, we know he's just going to stay middle linebacker, and we're going to re-sign him long-term. So in the end, it'll be cheaper to just re-sign him than it will be to do the 5th-year option. Plus, it'll be awkward timing, as I think he'll be like 27 when he needs a contract or something. I don't know, but I saw Anderson. I was like, we got Will Anderson already? I don't know why my brain just did what it did. And I don't even care. They can have him. I don't even know like what age Izadu is. Probably a lower overall, younger guy. I'll take the depth and have Robbie Anderson at this point. All right, here we go. The Texans, they kind of hold our future because I would love to have one of those too. Starting off strong. Obviously, the Bears should not take quarterback, and they take Will Anderson. This is where it gets questionable. I don't actually know if, Seattle ended up going back to Geno. What's the story? We'll find out here in a moment. And they went to Jacoby. If they decide they don't need a quarterback because they have Jacoby, I honestly don't know. I really don't. Bro! Maybe I should have made a trade up with them. What are the Falcons going to take? They're going to take Stroud. They end up getting their dream. And Seattle hopefully falls into poverty. I have a tough decision here, as we could go like DT a little bit later, perhaps. You're not really going to get the talent that you're getting with Myles Murphy. I know he's not technically a DT, but at 275 pounds with the strength he has, I would definitely allow it. But could also wait on like a guy like Ringo, trade down more or less for a guy like Ringo, Gonzalez, Cam Smith, Joey Porter Jr., Eli Ricks. There's some options here. There's some definite options. Do I just go Myles Murphy, though, and, let it just sort itself out? Defensive line is a good position to go for. Like I said, though, could trade to, 15 maybe and grab Cam Smith and get DeJuan Jones with a trade-up from the second round. I'm just saying those are options. Could even go Jervon Dexter as well, which would be crazy because we still need a lot of positions. We need 2 D linemen, 2 starting D linemen, and that doesn't even count Zach Allen. We're considering Zach Allen a locked-in starter. That's how desperate we are. But then you look at this offensive line. We don't actually need a tackle. I forgot about Humphreys. So you kind of just need guard. Running back's not the worst either. Could go Bijan Robinson, although it's a running back. I think we're going to load up on D-line. D-line and corner if we can. I honestly have no idea what Philadelphia wants here, but I am down. 12 and 32 is very equal to 5. So let's see what they go with. Myles Murphy would be a good pick. And they go Myles Murphy, so very smart pick by them. Seeing a lot of those pass rushers line up, and they're like, yeah, let's not let one of those guys go. Great decision by them. And of course, I doubt Ringo will be there, but could you imagine Ringo's there at 12? That would be busted. And he's still there at 12. I think you go with him, right? I think you go Kelee Ringo. You do have Brazil as well, but I think... Man, we do need 2 D linemen, don't we? But I think you can probably go with a guy like Jervon Dexter and Ika while taking Kelee Ringo right here. I think bolstering up on this defense is the best bet right now. I think we're going to go Kelee Ringo. Welcome to the team, Kelee Ringo. 95 speed, 95 excel with hidden development traits, 6'2", and 20 years of age. The Panthers holding their breath hard there. It's really tough to pass on him. Main reason why I pass on him, though, is I think he's going to go a little bit higher than top 12. And another reason is we've had Brizzy so many different times recently enough in rebuilds. Also, don't know how good he is. As obviously, this is the first time I've used Bengals updated class from a week or so ago. So I don't know. Maybe he actually would have sucked because those potentials weren't looking great. Miami with Bijan, though. We traded 32 this, 101 this, and a 4th next to move up to the Cowboys at 25. It was actually pretty much fair for us to give them a 5th next instead of the 4th, but they were just slightly off, and I was like, I could not be bothered. They're so broke and all this. Couldn't be bothered with this pick. Wow, okay, so these still do have some really talented players, but I think The biggest need at this point is a guy like Jeromepkr on that defensive line. So we are going to be taking him. Very good power move. 315 pounds, 6'5", 318 pounds. Looking like you can kind of play him anywhere. And I think we want a proper nose tackle. So I don't think he's going to play that for us. I think he's going to be just a pass rushing 3-4. So Jeromepkr is going to be our guy. Hidden development trade, thankfully. I've seen him, move around a little bit. Normal, star, whatever. Doubt he's anything higher than star, but let's go to pick 5. All of our kind of extra picks are pretty much gone at this point. Now, as much as I would like Ika, I don't, one, A, know if he's there, and B, even if he is, I'm not, locked in to a decision with him, even though I do really like him. Fix his entire D-line just this offseason. Could end up trading down again or go in O-line, maybe a running back. I think my running back would probably be Corum, but I don't know if I want to go with a 2 to 3 running back. Very fast with some trucking. I could just go like Zach Evans and just, rock out with James Conner for now, but I think Zach Evans would be a great choice too. He's a good power back as well. I'm going to move down with the Patriots to gain a 4th next year. I mean, I can't imagine it's going to be a great pick, and it does move us off of Ika, but 4 spots, technically about 5, to get still potentially Ika is worth it to me. Please don't take him. They didn't. Wow, that was a really good set of picks there. We're going to take him. Let's stop messing around. Get him. Fix the whole D-line just like that. Siaki, welcome to the team. True nose tackle. Bop. We've obviously seen him a bunch of times too, but at least we, he's not like a main piece. He's kind of just a run stopper, whereas the other guys, they're going to have the fun numbers like sacks, butt sacks. All right, start of the 3rd round. There's obviously a lot of players that are gone now, but it makes my decisions a little bit easier, I suppose. I think maybe you would trade up to the start of the 4th or the late. Wow, Wooden's still there? I mean, I get, he's normally like a 4th round guy, but he's 1 of 2 here, unless it's just glitched. Some really good corners well, but obviously that's not the route we're going to go. I think we go O-line here. There's a lot of good O-linemen, but I think since we need a guard, I'd probably go guard. And I'd probably go with whoever's the most athletic, because you kind of need to keep up with the small man's scrambling ability. A lot of offensive linemen, though. Holy crap. Can we not just, grab a tackle and then just move him to guard? Because there's a lot of athletic tackles left. The Steelers are giving me a nice trade. I don't mind the Vikings now, but I think the Steelers trade is the best. Moving us to 82, gaining a 4th-round pick, which, we didn't have a 4th-round pick because of our trade to, did we trade into the 1st round again? I think we did. Pick 25. Voorhees goes. Hooker goes. As long as the guards are there, we have some sort of lineman to work with. Ooh, I completely forgot about center. Jarrett Patterson. I mean, we didn't have many options anyways. Henley, I had him on my list because he was super fast. Ikior, so we lose a guard right there, actually. I think we're going to take a lineman because I think we need multiple linemen here at this point. We could really use at least 2. Bass. How fast is Bass? I think he's pretty non-athletic, right? Yeah, he's slow, and his bench press sucks. I might not even have him on my list anymore, to be honest. 3 linemen here. Zira really doesn't fit that, so I might be going with Frost and Steen at this point. The speed of Frost is non-existent, so really happy to not have him. And then Steen is really not athletic either. Wow, so a bunch of non-athletic future guards here. I suppose I'm going to go with whoever's stronger, even though I think Steen looks better. Let's just go with Steen. He's a little bit faster, and based off this front page, looks way better. So Tyler Steen's going to be the choice. Welcome to the squad. Please be hidden. He is. And a new lineman, I suppose. We usually don't go with a guy like Steen. Not, there's anything wrong with a guy like him, but I like saying a guy like, whatever. Gets me in trouble. What can I tell you? Jaron Hall to the Eagles. I actually really like that. Tell me Zach Evans is there because I really don't know when he goes because he's obviously a day 3. It could literally be now. You have Frost, Daniels, and Evans. I might try to trade 2 picks here to get Evans and Frost. I don't really necessarily like Frost, but I need another guard, even though he's not really a guard. Apparently a 5th next year gets us up, 17 spots? It's not crazy because it's the 4th round. And then the Bears, we do 4th round next year with 133, so we moved up 35 spots with a 4th round next year, which gives us back-to-back picks, which we're going to start with the running back, Evans. I don't know if he's going to be hidden or not, but I definitely want him so hard passing on Malachi, but we already have 2 corners. You don't really need too much more than that in the game. There are some other decent running backs too. McBride was good, but I don't think anyone was nearly as athletic as Zach Evans. So even though he's 22, that's who I'm going to go with. Zach Evans, who is hidden. Okay, I don't mind that decision. I don't know what his overall is, but I think he's going to start automatically. Yeah, I'd imagine McBride was normal. I think I've drafted him as a backup a few times, and he was always normal. And then making the move of, I really don't want Zier as a guard, but he is I'm going to go Zier. I don't care. He's hidden as well. He's most athletic. I mean, Alex Boone was a huge, non-athletic guy for the Niners for some years, and it worked out for them. Going to go to the next round, and if Daniels, the guard, is still there, I might draft him as a center, as we, kind of have Feliciano, the trade that we just made before the draft started, as our current center right now. And he is still there, so is McBride, so maybe I could have waited on Evans, I don't know, but let's go to the Texans again, and probably call our draft, although I will say, kind of forgot about kicker punter. That's okay. 2 6th and a 7th. The 6th and 7th were next year, but obviously one of our 6 was this year, so you're getting quote-unquote depth, if you will. And here he is, Braden Daniels, the kind of smaller guard, so I can see him being center, right? 6'4" is a little tall, but 297. Maybe tell him to crouch down a little bit so Kyler can throw. All right, checked all the punters, and McClain is by far the best with his kick power, so that is who I'm going to go with. Levi McClain. Normal development trade, 93 kick power, and like I said, I'm pretty sure that's the best possible. And then punter, we're just going to grab someone randomly from free agency. Let's take a look at the overalls of the players that we drafted. I think we landed a pretty good draft. I think, a lot of fans would be a little disappointed with not landing a guy like Carter, Will Anderson, or Miles Murphy that high. But you end up with Ringo, you end up with Jervon Dexter, Ika, you got some linemen, you got a new running back. I mean, we've done some things for the trenches, right? A lot of trench work. O-line, D-line, and a running back for the trench work. Cornerback helps. If we could have looked back, maybe look at a tight end, perhaps, maybe some athleticism there. A wide receiver wouldn't have hurt, but this team has a lot of depth in the game, at least, where we just don't really need one this season. But yeah, some pretty damn good overalls, and they're all pretty much going to start, like every single one of them, other than maybe one of the linemen. I forgot, maybe we forgot somebody that we already had that was better than one of the rookies, but I don't think that's the case. I think they're all going to start. All right, here is the team for year 2. Of course, we did end up grabbing a bunch of hidden linemen and a bunch of different hidden rookies. However, though, I don't know how many of the players were actual scheme fits. I really didn't like the actual linemen we chose for our team, as now we have a 6'7" right guard. We have a tackle who is playing guard now, who's really not super athletic, and then Daniels, who probably isn't a great center. Still see a ton of bronzes. Trey McBride's going to get the nod this season. As like I said, I think Ertz, the contract situation kind of makes things a little awkward, a little weird, but is he not going to retire? That's a really big injury he took in real life. Regardless, Trey McBride was drafted high enough to where we can make the argument that, yeah, let's give him a chance. Let's let him be the guy if we can. But of course, the running back I think is a great fit. I think you're getting a way faster James Conner, and I think that allows his ceiling to be way higher. Receivers look pretty good, even though some of the guys are pretty small. And then defense really improved that side at least. Can't argue that one, as we ended up with a new outside linebacker, 2 new D linemen, and a new corner who all have really high potential going forward, and hopefully do live up to that. As realistically, outside of maybe replacing Thomas, perhaps Allen, I think we can probably rock with these guys for maybe the rest of the rebuild and mainly just focus on offense. Massive breakout. Zach Allen now makes himself a started element trade player plus with the other guys and gets 10k XP. So I don't know if I should change the playbook or anything. Where is our money? Anyone know? I don't know if we should be changing our playbooks or not, but we're having a really bad season. And this team isn't really bad enough, in my opinion, to be having a season like we're having. Although I bet you a lot of Cardinals fans in real life would also agree with that. And Isaiah Simmons is looking for more money. Sweet. Marquise Brown, we will keep on if we can. A 4-year $60. Offer is perfect. He's almost always in free agency, by the way. I feel like if we let Simmons, kind of sit here and we paid him after the season, we'd have a bunch more money, especially since we'd probably be able to get rid of our left tackle. Not that he's not good, it's just the costs. He is so expensive, and I think that might be what we do. I love when they're like, hey, there's this linebacker, Justin Felix. He seems pretty good. He's got an F zone. Like F me if you think I'm going to take him. All right, so spoiler alert, we are not in the playoffs. Please lose. Just lose. The Ravens as well. Please just, like, lose. Do the losing. Do the simulating for one, and then do the losing. As we are 5-12, which, does that give us a top 3 pick? I mean, at this point, it's like, what do you even draft? Like, we're a number 3 pick. Maybe even number 2, because, you know, sometimes the what is it called? The tiebreakers aren't proper, and, you know, the actual draft fixes it. But, I mean, this is a bad season. So, what do we... So, we lost by 6 to the Bengals. Fair enough. Beat the Eagles and the Seahawks, though. Lost to the Seahawks by 7. Fair enough. 7 to the Giants, I guess. Niners, I guess. The Bears, absolutely not. Rams, should not. Probably not. Browns. Niners, fair enough. Cowboys, fair enough. Steelers, not by that much. Falcons, no shot. Ravens, fair enough. I mean, we should have probably had at least 8 wins, right? Which tells me, you know, we're going the right direction. Could it be the playbooks? I think with the team we're fielding right now, okay, we should probably try different playbooks. And if that doesn't work, I don't know what the kind of, like, length of the Murray contract is, but, I mean, maybe you're looking at quarterback, because this team should not be playing this bad. This is absurdly bad. Like, we have no rushing numbers. We have no passing numbers. Like, what do we have for offense? Like, we have nothing. Josh Allen, absolutely beastly. Zach Allen, really good, too. If your name is Allen, you're a god, apparently. Really disappointing in Cam Thomas again, so I think we probably will look to replace him. Everyone else was, you know, fair enough. Eco would like to see a little bit more tackles for a loss, but fair enough. You know, linebackers got some picks. McLean, pretty bad rookie season. Gillikin, you know, if he's in free agency, I'm going to grab him. Kick return, punt return, meh. And that's about it. Not going to lie, that may be the worst season we've ever had in a rebuild, literally ever. Like, I would actually say there's a good chance of it. Of course, Josh Allen, great. Zach Allen, decent. You know, we end up getting probably some dev ups there, but overall, some really bad seasons there. I mean, stats on the season. I mean, what was the numbers? 32nd in offense I seen as we were backing out. I mean, I've never seen this. Like, this is ridiculous. From a team this good, at least. 12th in defensive yardage. The defense did seem decent, but, you know, outside of like 1 or 2 guys, we're not getting any dev ups there anyways. 32nd in scoring, 9th in points allowed. So we have a defense that's okay, it seems. So no needs, you know, no changes needed really there outside of maybe Cameron Thomas. But the offense, apparently something's got to give. And once again, I think that something is probably the scheme, and if not, probably Kyler Murray. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not the best offensive line in the world, but the team should be doing better on offense regardless. Buccaneers versus the Bills, and winner of that Super Bowl is the Buffalo Buccaneers, of course, as we obviously expected. Sadly, Trey McBride's season, even though it was good, was not good enough for a dev up, which is really disappointing. Marquise Brown, same deal, obviously. Evans wasn't going to get a dev up. He was awful. And then offensively, absolutely a dev up for Allen. And no one else, even Zach Allen, I would have thought maybe would have got a dev up. But that was a pretty good season for Josh Allen. Everyone else, though, not so much. Oh, my. That is an upgrade. 2 to speed, 2 to finesse. That is crazy. Of course, Humphreys, I think they actually gave him another one of those crazy contracts recently enough. So, talking about maybe getting more money by releasing him or trading him, not going to be the case, sadly. Might look for a new center, though. Maybe a new guard. I don't know, because obviously I just don't really like the center situation for us. But let's go to the re-signings. We have $35 million, apparently. So, we should be able to get Isaiah Simmons back, which, if he even wants to be here, would be a pretty big thing for us. Hopefully it drops to 4 years. I really don't want to keep him till he's 31, although he's so athletic right now that he probably could stand it. It does drop to a 4, so a 4-year 42. Okay, well, you're not testing free agency. You're going to be... Well, now that you mention it, Isaiah Simmons, maybe you will test free agency. I really don't want to let him go, but the way he's played, he is pretty good. You know what? I am actually going to tag him. a 17 mil tag. If you factor in that we gave him a 4-year 42, that's around 10-ish per anyways, and he wanted more than that. So he was probably looking for something around 13 per regardless. So paying 17 mil to guarantee his return isn't crazy much more than, the actual contract ask. And of course, punter Gillikin's my guy in Sim, but he's not that great, but I will give him that 3-year 9. If he's willing to take a 3-year 9, we're keeping him on, but I'm not going to go crazy to keep him, and everyone else is pretty much a backup, so I don't really care. So Zach Ertz, if he wouldn't have already retired on his own, is going to be gone. I'm sorry, Zachariah. I mean, it was a cool little story, but I just think we are broke as hell, and, Isaiah Simmons didn't really help the situation any bit at all. And he's kind of the only guy we can save to get rid of to save any real money. The second closest guy with James Conner, but saving $3 million, to take that $2 million pen isn't really great. We get a net savings of $3 million when James Conner's still a really good trucking back. So there's really no point in doing that. So that's like the only money we could really save. And I don't know if I really want to spend any money in free agency, but let's take a look and see if we have to pay anyone upcoming. Baker, Hopkins, both of those guys, specifically Hopkins, wouldn't be paid that much more, probably around the same, if not less than they already are being paid. And everyone else seems to be kind of similar or less, so we can probably spend a good 10-ish mil, maybe 15 mil, and still feel good about ourselves. So looking at what position we really could need, quarterback, he's just never going to be there. Rashawn Gary at this point, we just can't afford him. Cornerback wouldn't hurt, but not the biggest needs. A lot of good players like Tua is in there at Oliver. We don't really need D-line that bad at this point unless we're going to get rid of Zach Allen, which, he played really well for us. I think he could be the guy going down the line. So maybe a guard or a tight end, because I really don't think Trey McBride's going to be the guy at this age. But I also don't think a guy like Noah Fant is the guy, because he's 26 and 81 overall. He's good, but his ceiling has been reached. Maybe. I like him. I do like him. I think we have to look at the draft as well, because we do have a high pick, and we can trade down, and if there's some god tight end there or something late first, we can just draft one. So there is a solid-looking edge rusher, but he's a little bit on the heftier side for a 3-4, but if he's there, I will be taking him. Still there, and he's gone. Of course, he's gone. Pick 2 overall he goes. He was a top 5 in fairness, so that really blows. I was hoping they needed like some sort of quarterback or something. There's also this Mike Campbell guy. He's a wide receiver. He looks good, but wide receiver this specific moment isn't a need. I think this guy could easily be like a 76, 77 overall maybe with like star plus, obviously, but with that trade or with that move, I can't go for him. And there really isn't another position that was even close to him. He was very big, but he was blazing fast. And, there's not really much I could do because I wasn't trading up to 2. I was just hoping he was going to be there. I think Cody is probably going to be our first selection. He's a 2-3, which I actually thought he was a 1-2, but scout him a little bit more. 6'4", decently fast. He's 21 years old. I think he's clearly going to be the guy. I had 2 other tight ends as well, which is why I was like, okay, I'm not going to go Fant. But yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. That was a mad L losing that edge rusher because I really have no one else that's even close to as good as him. Like at all. The best I could probably do is some 4'7", 40 guy. Could trade this pick to a team, but we also don't really have a whole lot of money to work with either. It's not great. I think this was actually the second best guy, and he just doesn't compare. I think I'm going to go with Philadelphia. They're giving us a first round next year, getting 19 this and 83 this for, not a bad trade back. We just don't have anyone up there anymore. I was going to take Steffens, and he was gone. Oh, I actually forgot about tackle. That guy actually did look really good, too. I just can't really draft linemen that high, so I didn't. And you know what? Philadelphia, again, they want to double dip. I like the trade. Philadelphia has given me some offers here that I can't refuse, and they end up going with a quarterback, Vince Bowe, which is very interesting to say the least. Pick 6 after pick 3, which is our own. We went from pick 3 in the first to no first-round draft pick for ourselves, but I don't hate it. Of course, Stephen Cody might be a little early, but I like him, and we really need tight end, so Stephen Cody's going to be the guy. Please be good. He is hidden. That's all I could ask for. To be honest, even if he wasn't hidden, he was going to be the starter. 87 speed, 91 excel, 88 agility, good jumping as well, and the best part is he's 21. And it sucks that all these linemen are like, they all have something that's really bad. It's like either the pass block is really bad, or like usual, it's the run block. I scouted him more, and yeah, he's pretty much undraftable. Like, he will be good, but his run block's gonna suck, and our run game is awful. You know, like, what can I do about that? Also, Morgan, was Morgan our guy? We had a DT with, like, yeah, there he is, Graham, 3 to 4. We have to grab him, even if he's not a need right now. And speaking of not a need right now, but I want this Randall Clifton guy. He was okay, he's a little bit slower than I would have thought. He was like a 4.3.6. Maybe not so much a 4.36, but hidden development trait nonetheless, and I suppose worth it when we literally have nothing else to grab. I need some linemen, but man, our lineman list, I think Minor will definitely be a good choice, but it's not great either. Buffalo, I almost called them Bluffalo. Buffalo giving us a really good trade here, so we will absolutely take it. Really juicing these picks. I kind of want to get to the third round, though, because I think all of our guys are third-round picks, and trying to save as much money as I can, so I'm going to try to get to the third if I can here. We give the Colts... Oh, they will not! Okay, well, I just wanted to trade to next round. A 7 next year even would do it for me. They still won't do it. We trade these 2 ultra-talented players to get the trade through. Obviously, they just completely robbed us. And with the biggest need kind of being linemen still, Tevin Minor, who's super strong, pretty athletic, and had better run block ratings than that tackle we looked at, who was a 2 to 3, has to be a home run hit, and seems to be, as he is hidden. It seems like almost every lineman ever is hidden now in Madden drafts, but hey, sometimes you can land normal, so just be grateful, right? Just be grateful. It would be nice to see a center, like a proper center pick, but don't know if that's going to happen. Anything else? Do we just take Graham because we kind of need him? This guy, I don't know his zone coverage, but obviously, as with most of our selections we look at, very fast. Gotta pay Zaven Collins, and I don't know if I want to pay him. I also do have Sewell, though, who's also a zone coverage. 1 year older, a little bit slower, but a good pick nonetheless. I think you take him no matter what, even if we do take Davis. But I think Luke Graham, even with that bad tackling at 21 years old, is absolutely worth it with A, finesse, B, block shed, which is a rare combination. So we are going to grab him. Normal development trait, but athletic strength is actually lacking a little bit, but I don't hate it. And I think if Davis is there in the third, we're just going to grab him. I also forgot I had wide receivers, but obviously those guys are long gone. What about Clifton? We definitely need another lineman, but is Clifton the lineman we need? I don't know. Really weak. Yeah, I don't think so. You know what? I actually might be willing to take Wes Sewell here. We've talked about it a billion times. Day 3 is day 3. They could literally be a 4th-round pick. I don't want to lose him, and I think he's better than Davis. So Wes Sewell it is. I might be wrong because he's normal, but he is very athletic. Looks exactly like the tight end, but it's okay. I just know I'm going to be so disappointed when we look at that damn end, aren't we? Because we actually don't have, like, a position there. Like, we have Cam Thomas, who's going to start again, and he sucks. I also forgot about wide receiver. I kind of want to just grab someone that's fast, even though they're literally, like, all probably not going to be fast. This guy looks all right. Tevin Baker, 6'1", 22 years old. Release sucks, but he's pretty fast for 6'1". Gonna grab him. 94 speed, 95 excel. Not a bad little, like, last-second gem. And then in the 7th round, we're going to be grabbing Eddie Enriquez, who's, I mean, good kick power, A accuracy. He can't be much worse than the guy we already have. And he is 93 kick power, just like him. 80 speed, though. And if he's better than our last guy, I'm just gonna start him. But here we go, a couple of starters. Okay, let's act. Okay. I mean, that's not really what I was looking for. I'm glad for the lag. Bloody brilliant. I don't know where that came from. But draft recap, $23 million to work with, which is fine. The tight end was a high overall, 76, 74, 74, 71, 70, 70, 69. I want to see what Davis was like. I'm going to be so mad if he was better. And, Steffens. Oh, I wish he was normal. Look at Steffens. Jadarius Stephens is a monster. He's probably going to be at least superstar, right? Oh my, can you really even say the extras we got, considering positional need, was better? Probably not. Davis is also a 70 overall, went a little bit later. And of course, a hidden development trait player. Gotta love that. I'm gonna just love when he's a superstar. If he's only star, we can live with it. He is only star, but the problem is he was younger as well, and he could develop longer because Zaven Collins is going to start this season. I thought I was making the big brain play, and I absolutely was not. We probably should actually take a look at some of the devs before we do anything crazy here. Graham was normal, but how good was he? He was very good with that finesse, though. 82 finesse, and we can see that that block shot was a lie. It was 73, which is usually what you expect from a guy with really good finesse or power move. Of course, Stephen Cody looked pretty good. Yeah, I mean, you're getting basically a Noah Fant right here, despite the fact that he's 5 years younger and already almost the same overall with the dev of, superstar. So the tight end was a good pick. The problem with the tight end was I was going to grab him no matter what, so it really didn't matter about the trading down. It's not like we had to trade down to get him. We were going to land him and Stephens, which would have been such a good draft. Randall Clifton, he does look pretty good, but what's his dev? If it's star, it's something. It's better than nothing. It was a good pick. But if it's only star, then it's not. It's not like the craziest thing. We did need depth, though. Our cornerback number 3 was really bad. Marco Wilson's like, hey, I picked off that Brady guy a couple of times. Give me some credit here. Of course, Tevin Minor, very solid player. Surprisingly, not really dual style, but better than most. Mostly it's one-sided. He's, kind of balanced a little bit. Not really even sure what position we need the most. Do you put him at left guard because he's more athletic and then put our left guard at center? So the guy goes from tackle to guard to center. What a career. I'm sure he loves to be in Arizona. All right, Season 3. We've added some talent, but some of the positions that we really needed to improve, we did not. And by some, I mean really just one. We kind of maybe needed to look at quarterback, and we definitely could have used an outside linebacker, but I suppose there really wasn't much more we could do. It was a pretty good draft. Obviously, Gervon Dexter, we're hoping takes the next step. Allen has been that guy for us if he needs a contract this year, which I think he does. I don't see how I can say no, but I suppose it's a what have you done lately kind of league. So if he sucks this season, right, when he needs a contract, it could just be an unfortunate loss, right? If he plays really badly this season, we're going to have to say, well, you're replaceable. You kind of asked for a lot of money. Big thing is we're hoping Cody comes out the gate swinging. We hope Evans has a better year, as his rookie year was awful. And then, of course, probably will have to replace Zaven Collins. I can't imagine paying a 82 overall 25-year-old linebacker more than 7 or 8 per, and he probably will want more than that. But if he's willing, I kind of like him. So we'll see. Just to be clear of how insanely awesome and flawless this game is, the Falcons, the Eagles for one, let Jalen Hurts go, and then the Falcons, who just drafted Stroud, top 5, decided, hey, let's, I think, was it top 5, top 6, whatever, hey, you want to, not be the starting quarterback for the future for us, even though you're, probably a superstar development trait, he's normal. Okay, that's interesting. You're a very good overall quarterback, and they were like, nah, let's Jalen Hurts, and then Justin Herbert's a Giant, so, what's even happening? All right, tried a new playbook, didn't really work, tried another new playbook, kind of on a little bit of run. Of course, not a whole lot of names here, but I imagine it gets pretty absurd. Budda Baker, DeAndre Hopkins, Isaiah Simmons, Rondale Moore is an interesting name. Zaven Collins, actually less than I expected, and then I do not know about how Zach Allen has played. But, once again, if he's played well, we've said it, he gets to stay. I don't really care about his overall, I care about how he plays. And it's only 10 weeks in, and he's got 10 sacks. What do you want from me? I'm paying the man a 3-year 35. This man's deserved it. He has been a guy, and even though he's been a little douchey the first re-sign, he was kind of not having it. He's joined us back, and I think we've wore him down. Or he's wore us down because he's playing well. I don't know, but a 4-year 63 for Budda Baker is a little iffy because he's only superstar. And then Hopkins, he wanted a lot, didn't he? I didn't even actually look. A 3-year 60 at 32 years old. Can we do a 2-year 43? That's much better. That is a win. that guy's kind of the guy as well. And then we're back to Simmons being probably a tough guy here. A 4-year 44. Nice. Okay. 48 mil left to work with, and all we have to pay is Zaven Collins, maybe Rondale Moore. I really don't want too many small dudes around here, but if that's the way it goes, that's the way it goes. Do we just give him a 5-year? 5-year 36. I mean, that works for both sides. I'm cool with it. 41 mil left. Rondale Moore is probably about 13 per. I would not do more than the 3-year, though. Very good catching. Short route running's decent. Release sucks. I really want to see how well he's playing. You know, like, he has had pretty good seasons. He looks like he's on par for another, like, 700-800 yard season as the number 3. Why ruin a good thing? That's kind of like my thoughts on it, even though our offense in general sucks. I do no more than a 3-year 40. That's pretty much that. All right, so I have no idea whose fault it is, but Kyler Murray may be taking the blame on it, as we are not having good seasons here. 6-11. A bunch of losses in a row. I changed the playbook 4 times in one season, and nothing did it. It could, once again, be a tough division, which it definitely is. Seattle's, like, killing it. But in general, let's see the losses, like usual. Packers, fair enough. Rams, no shot. Seahawks, apparently, Rams 2 times in one season. We lost back-to-back, same exact scores. Losing to the Patriots, probably not realistic. We should probably be splitting with the Niners at this point with our talent. Miami, fair enough. It's just, I don't know. It just seems like tough opponents. It really does. This has been a tough one for us early on. Frankie Louvu with the most sacks in the league. The thing is, if you look at Kyler Murray's numbers here, they're not terrible, considering you started out with the Ravens playbook for, I think we did 5, maybe 7 seasons. Weeks, which obviously is going to drop your numbers by a lot in the passing game. But 34 touchdowns and 10 interceptions is not bad. Evans was better, and obviously looking at the rushing numbers for Murray, that's 39 total touchdowns with about 4,600 yards, which is not bad. It's just we're not winning games, and there are a lot of close calls. It might just be the fact that we're getting slightly unlucky and losing games by a little bit, but this as a whole seemed like a very good season. Obviously, Zach Allen, after we gave him that contract, put up 1.5 sacks in 7 weeks, but that's fine because it was a good year. Jervon is really struggling, which, normally I kind of have like an idea. It's like, oh, well, it's the playbook and, it's because of this and that. It's like, well, we have used this Cardinals playbook the whole time so far, and Jervon Dex is playing left end, which is where J.J. Watt was, I believe. So, if that's the case, then you would think Jervon would be great, but Cameron Thomas needs to go, and we're going to have a decent draft pick to hopefully replace him. Everything else, though, I don't see what we could really do to improve the team. I don't think replacing Kyler Murray is the answer. I just don't think it is. Like, before I was kind of in on it. The Seattle Seahawks 15-2 with Jacoby Brissett. That should also tell you something, that the game is bustedly bad. But, of course, Josh Allen, back-to-back years. He is kind of killing it for us. Has been an absolute godsend at that rush position. But still, as a whole, we have not done enough, specifically on offense, somehow, to win. I just don't know, unless we keep changing the playbooks until something sticks, what we can really do. We have a really good receiving unit. The running back played better. The tight end didn't really play well, but he is a good tight end, so there should be no reason for him to suck. The Lions are in the Super Bowl. I don't know. Once again, it does seem like it is the playbooks, because we're losing to the Niners and Rams 2 times a season, despite the fact that they're just as bad as us, apparently. And the Lions win a Super Bowl before we do, which is just fantastic. DevOps, none on offense, not surprisingly. And this is why you go with a 2-year for Hopkins. Not a terrible regression, but did regress. And you can see it's, maybe his overall didn't go by a whole lot, but he is regressing kind of hard. 90 speed, still good with the route running and all that. So he's still good, a good player, but not really putting up crazy numbers. And then defensively, we had no DevOps again. Nobody. That is harsh. Like, Zach Allen has put up 2 double-digit sack seasons in a row on the interior, and they're like, well, you suck it. You can't. You're not him. So we're in a predicament. DJ Humphries is releasable. We can save 12 mil. However, he's kind of playing really well. But I've been over this a billion times, and I continue to be over it a billion times. Yeah, I don't know if it's overall or performance-based, but I do know for a fact that 8 sacks is really good. I mean, I've seen, guys like David Bakhtiari give up 8 in the sim game. But, yeah, I'm not really sure what we do. Can we do better? Probably not. Running backs, I mean, Joe Mixon is super, super intriguing, but only with $28 million to work with. I really think you have to be very careful here. If you can't get an edge rusher, I think you save your money. And Ojulari is an edge rusher, but he is also asking for a lot of money. And for a guy that only finally broke out with an 8.5 sack season, I don't know. Especially since, Josh Allen was kind of like that. Wow, how much is the difference here? Look at the price, 21 per, whereas Aziz is 12. Of course, there's a bit of a talent gap there, but has Josh Sweat even been good? If it's only a 2-year deal, which I think that's what it was, it'd be interesting. He really hasn't shown anything. But we also do have a high draft pick, so I might be looking at drafting a guy rather than signing someone here, as I don't think Sweat's the guy, and I really don't want to be locked in for 5 years with Ojulari, who's only finally doing well at, his rookie deal being removed. All right, so we're in the draft with pick 6 and pick 18, and I really want a pass rusher. McAdams and Gray look both really good, but I think Gray is better, so even though he's a round 1 talent, I'm probably going to be very, chill. The Panthers are a team that could go for him, so I'm going to go to 4, even though I know it's a division rival, and take a look at the Niners and Panthers and see if there's any chance that either of them goes with him. The problem is the Niners need a left out, but they don't need, a pass rushing left out. And then the Panthers absolutely could use one, even though, once again, it's the wrong position, technically. Although they also do need quarterback, same as the Panthers, technically. I'd be willing to trade with the Niners, because they know we don't need a quarterback, but the Panthers do, potentially, so I'm not sure. This should be a fair trade. It's only 2 spots. I mean, it says we're giving them a better trade, so I'm going to do it. They take it, we win. We learned our lesson from last time. Parker Gray is the starting outside linebacker for this team, and please be hidden. He is. He's a lot slower than I would. Well, I'm going to say it's a lot slower, but he's slower than I was hoping, I guess. 83 speed, 88 excel is pretty damn good, and he looks beastly with the long hair, I can't lie. See what the Panthers take, which is right end, and the Niners quarterback. It is not. They go left out. I don't remember if Moody was a pass rusher or not, but McAdams was better anyways, so if they didn't go McAdams, I would assume that they just passed on pass rushers. We'll say we do have an interesting wide receiver here. He's a little raw, but 6'2", 21 years old with really good speed. His jumping's a little iffy with that vertical, but the broad jump's solid. He looks okay. He looks interesting, but I don't think we need a wide receiver just yet. So at this point, I'm probably, like usual, willing to trade down. This is a massive trade from Tampa. I'm taking this. They can deal with everything else-wise. I don't know what they need. Maybe a QB, whatever. I'm taking it. And it's a tackle, which is interesting. And we're going to trade on again, this time with the Rams, 43 and 107 for our pick at 6, which is actually only a few back. I guess Wooten's good, but we have a bunch of linemen, and I don't know which one to take, so I was just hoping a bunch of them would just go and we could choose the best of the best, but kind of seems like they all stuck around, except for the tackle, who was, ironically enough, the pick I wanted the least anyways. So there's that. Glenn Bird, I guess, I'm going to take because he's decent. He's a little on the weaker side for strength. Of course, normal development trait. This is why I did not want to select someone. I definitely want Clark Taylor, but he's a 3 to 4. Do I just take Stratton? Good, I'm going to take Yates. He looks a little bit better. Another normal! This is why I don't draft high. This is why I just don't do that. It's just so stupid. Such a waste. 2 normals. 2 normal linemen, let alone 1. If Taylor's the best, I'm going to be so pissed because it's like usual, why did I even draft anyone in the second round for linemen? Why? We trade the Jaguars 82, and Daniels move up to 65, which I think is fair, and we're going to be taking that center Taylor and calling it a lineman draft. I'm not going to grab any more linemen, I don't think, for the rest of the class. Clark Taylor, welcome to the squad, 22 years old. Watch, you'll be the only hidden. Or I'll just draft 3 straight normal development trade linemen. All right, okay. Wow. Okay, I'm hoping that pass rusher is good because we are not drafting well right now. Eagles, like always, coming in clutch. We're going to take their 3rd and 4th next year for this high 3rd. And even though we do not need a linebacker, this linebacker is fast with an A zone coverage, so why wouldn't I take him? Kenya Conway, which is a great pick, but makes Sewell useless, which I'm cool with. I don't even care. I just want good players at this rate. And Langford, the running back, a little bit beastly for his. I mean, he's a little slow, but he's pretty beastly with that A stiff arm, assuming B truck. He's got B break tackle, A ball carrier vision. He's not the craziest running back in the world, but we need a backup because James Conner is gone, and we're going to take him. And somehow he is hidden development trait. I'm not really too excited because I really don't care. He's a backup anyways. But I suppose if I could have hidden or not hidden, I mean, I would choose hidden, but that's not going to get me excited because we're not going to start him. And then wide receiver, we're going to take the fastest available player. And Faulkner is by far the fastest, so Jonathan Faulkner is the choice. And he's hidden, which is definitely much more exciting than the running back, even though he will be a backup as well for, ironically enough, potentially the rest of this rebuild. But still, that is very intriguing nonetheless. And 6th rounder. If the other wide receiver's there, I'm going to grab him too, but I don't know if he will be or not. A lot of these guys are probably about 6th rounders. Oh, he's there. He also looked pretty fast, so we're going to grab Chris Stringer, who will be on the squad as well. Normal development trait, 95 speed, or 97 speed, 95 excel. Very fast player as well. So he got some wide receivers, and then in the 7th round, for like the 3rd straight year, we're going to go with another kicker. This time, though, we have a kicker that should be like mid-90s, like 95 maybe, 94-ish, as he is great, I believe it was, if he's still there, which I'm pretty sure the game doesn't take kickers. Christian Davis, B accuracy with a great kick power, looks pretty speedy. We're going to grab him, Christian Davis, normal development trait, but 95 speed. All of the kickers, each rookie, has been pretty mid, so we're probably, for the 4 billionth time in a row, going to start another rookie kicker. And I don't know who the best fullback is, but this guy had an A pass block with an A to C run, so I'm going to grab him. He is 86 strength as well, so looks good. We needed a fullback. Why not? Here we go with the draft recap. About 17 million, as we did have a, 17 million in cap space. Nice overall. We had a lot of drafted players here, and a lot of decent players, it seems. We'll say Bird was an absolute waste, whereas Yates, based on overall at least, and with that strength, might have been a decent pick. 80 run block finesse, 78 pass block finesse. Run block in general looks good, and then power is a little iffy, but he actually looks pretty decent. The rest, though, are absolute wastes. They're just depth. And Faulkner was a lower overall than Stringer, and seemingly a little bit slower, kind of, with that excel, but hidden development trait. These guys are almost guaranteed to be star development trait, but you never know. Might be better off. What number? 88 looks okay, I guess. And yeah, star development trait is expected. Do want to see that pass rusher, though, as he is a massive key to this team's success, as he will be a plug-and-play starter on the edge. Cameron Thomas, maybe trade him off for a 4th-round pick if we're lucky. 33 for the number. I don't know about that now. Let's go with something in maybe the 50s if we can. Anything cool? 58, 59, 52 is actually pretty sick with the dev of Superstar. He's a winner. And Moody was a pass rusher, so in a way we kind of unrealistically robbed them, but not really sure why they would go with him. Dowd, very slow, but hidden development trait. You know, these kind of guys that I don't really look at too often because it's just like 6'3", 81 speed. That's pretty mid, dude. It's a really bad combination, and he is only star. What about McAdams, though? He went all the way to 12. The Raiders with a steal, I think. Hidden development trait, 85 speed, 80 to excel, 78 finesse. What's that dev looking like, though? I mean, I'm happy with my guy, even if this guy's an X Factor, which he could be, and he is not. So we made a great choice, made the correct choice, and considering we were kind of just taking anything because we had so many extra picks, not really mad at all about losing that 3rd-round pick. The Seahawks are willing to give me Quentin Johnston for Cameron Thomas, which is very interesting. I will actually look at their team just in case, because if they have a bunch of good wide receivers, it's not the most unrealistic trade in the world. Was it not who the hell was it? He is their number 4, but yeah, I mean, they do need pass rusher more, but it's interdivisional, and I really don't want to make them better. Damn, they're not even using Lowry, dude, and he's a superstar. I mean, I'm willing to trade quite a bit to get him here. I'd give them their own first-round pick back. I'd give them Cameron Thomas and their own first-round pick back for him. And if they really wanted, they could have DJ Humphries for the mentorship. I'm down with it. They are broke. Okay, guess we're not doing that. All right, pick 6, 38, and 70 to the Eagles for Lowry. And then we trade Thomas and a 4th for that pick back, our second-round pick, which, I mean, I think is kind of fair because it was a little bit of an overtrade from us to have to give up what we did for the left tackle, a projected 6th overall. But yeah, now we have a very good left tackle. We trade DJ Humphries to the Buccaneers for a 4th-round pick, and I'm going to be honest with you, the moment I clicked that 4th-round pick trade, I did not realize that DJ Humphries is actually only, 78 overall, whatever, 80, I think, because the morale was down. But yeah, I thought he was still like an 81 overall, so that's, a little bit of a my bad. This is actually interesting because Enriquez actually got 2 to kick power, and he's a better accuracy guy, so this kicker might just be a backup, which I know a lot of teams have backup kickers, right? Season 4 team. Obviously, we're seeing some regression from Hopkins, and Murray, without that X factor, doesn't seem to be going up in overall too high. Evans is improving. Marquise Brown is about to regress soon if he doesn't get to superstar. You know, we're in a little bit of a weird spot. We did add a massive talent at left tackle who will get probably like 86 overall by the end of the season. And, we have some little iffy names specifically at right tackle, but, I mean, they play well. Defensively, linebackers look great, especially with Gray hopefully being the guy since he's already a superstar. Safeties are amazing. Cornerbacks keep getting better. They should be, like, near 90 overall by the end of the season. This is a team that should at least make the playoffs. If it's not making the playoffs, it's once again scheme or Kyler Murray. Turning the season around crazily right now. And we have some contracts, but doesn't seem to be anyone crazy important. The crazy train has left the building. Love how many times I'm saying it. 3 years, $35 million for Jalen Thompson. I'm cool with that. Trey McBride is not a bad player, but he's a backup tight end. Do you really need a backup tight end? He actually doesn't look terrible, but I kind of want to see how much action he's actually getting, because if he's not playing much, there's no point. And yeah, there's no point. Let's not ruin his career and let him go somewhere else. We went from 0-5 to now 7-6 and a superstar X-Factor quarterback in Kyler Murray. All right, we're 8-8. It has been a battle of a season. I don't even know if we're in, even if we do win. And we are because we win. Okay, so the Seahawks are terrible somehow, and the Niners are good. The Rams taking the second place spot in the division. Let's take a look at our season. Obviously 9-8. Not an impressive one, but Kyler Murray, he's not the problem. So Zach Evans has not been good. If we can get another chance at like a guy like Joe Mixon, I know he won't actually be in there, but a guy like him, I think you have to take the chance, especially since we're likely only doing one more season. But this season we started off with, I actually think we started with Kansas City, but I did West Coast spread because that's what the Chiefs normally do. Didn't work out. Anthony Richardson is the MVP of the league. I can't remember. Oh, no. Of course, his name was Paul Wall, too. Rookie of the year, the guy we were looking at but didn't take. Parker Gray. Did we actually look at the rest of the stats, or did I just completely forget to? I don't remember looking at defense, but I can't remember what we switched to, but then we ended up going right back to it. Zach Allen's been great, and Gray, just as bad, if not worse than Logan, might need to change the defensive scheme, even though the numbers look okay. But we did end up going back to the Chiefs, and we did vertical zone run, and it ended up working. And like I said, ending up working. We're not seeing good sack numbers, but second in defensive yardage allowed, 11th in points allowed with an offense that sucks. I mean, it seems like the defensive scheme shouldn't be touched, right? I'm just saying. But here we go. We are 90 overall. They're an 88, and considering the wins we've had, which has not been a lot over the years, it's surprising we're even this good. But let's take a look. The fourth season, we're going to do 5 minimum. But that also could be 5 maximum. So we'll see. Kind of depends on how this goes. I don't want this video to be too damn long. But of course, starting out with a 7-0 deficit, we get 3 back. We stop them. Driving down long, get another 3. They get a touchdown, so we're down 8. We get a touchdown. Don't go for 2. Field goal attempt did not go through, it seems. Start of the second half, up by 7 with the 2-point conversion. Up by 4 now. Up by 11. Only up by 8, no field goal or anything there. The Niners get the touchdown, but do not get the 2-point, and we beat our division leaders and rivals by 2 to move on to the divisional round, which is clutch as hell. Kyler Murray, once again, has not been the problem. Running back, though, Zach Evans he's been terrible. He had that 4.1 yards per carry season, and other than that, he's been terrible. Budda Baker with an interception. I don't know what to do, though, because it's like, it seems like unless you have a real-life running back, you know, they don't do well. The rookie running backs just all seem to suck. I will say, though, for some reason, they actually worked on Zach Evans' elusivity more than his trucking, but he's a good back regardless, though. Like, I don't understand how, like EA, explain to me how this is a 3.6 yards per carry back. Maybe the break tackle could be better, but, like, he's really good. Super fast. Change direction and stuff is good enough. Trucking and stiff arms, 80+. That's better than a lot of the league. 94 juke, 90 spin is amazing. His catchability is decent. I really don't understand how he's bad. Like, if he's bad, how do you actually develop, you know, a non-real-life running back, like we said? You know, like a Saquon or a Mixon or stuff like that. I don't honestly know. But I don't really care right now because we're going against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the divisional round with a chance against the MVP to make it to the championship. All right, go to the end of the game. It looks like we stopped them. Got a touchdown out the gate. Then we get another touchdown, taking on a very good Tampa Bay Buccaneers team and winning. Although they get a touchdown back. A touchdown there would have been so nice. But start of the second half, even with that missed extra point, seems like a win to me, which is... and I got to relax there, but it looks like one, which is impressive, because that was the MVP of the league that we just took and taken down and beat in Anthony Richardson. Of course, Kyler Murray showing up. You know, 2 touchdowns, 300 yards a game. Zach Evans did well, but was it off a big run? It wasn't, which is surprising. Ramondre Stevenson is the running back there. They seem to just love guys that are, you know, like Leonard Fournette. Hopkins has been pretty good. Sack total. Zach Allen has been a real surprise in this rebuild, without a doubt. Eddie, the kicker, did really well, too. But yeah, very surprising for Zach Allen. I mean, double digits pretty much every single season. He has been good. And ironically enough, we'll probably still finish this rebuild at Star Dev. Do one upgrade for Ringo, and it's just busted. All right, championship round, probably the Cowboys. If it is, I'm going to cry. And it's the Saints, another 9-8 team. How the hell did they get here? Like, we're at least a good team. They're like a 9-8 team, and they suck. They beat Dallas, though. We appreciate it. And then they beat Chicago in a game of 90 points. Fields is a Saint. Baker is a Bear. What the hell is even going on around here? The winner of this game gets to play a Jets team that won 14-10 against the Colts. For the love of God, let us win this game so we can have a walk-in-the-park Super Bowl win on what has been a very strange and strugglesome rebuild, which 35-21 looks pretty convincing to me. 42-21, and a victory for the Cardinals will head us to that exact situation. Let's take a look at Kyler Murray has played some postseason. Evans looking pretty good. 7.84 yards per carry, 59 yards on a long, which is nice, but it's not like, you know, it's not like he had an 80-yarder and whatnot. But of course, looking at receivers, DeAndre Hopkins has been beautifully good. Allen, all the Allens in the world playing well. 4 sacks. Any interceptions? We had Budda Baker with another. And Enriquez, you know, he had 4 for 4. Missing 1 in a game below. It doesn't matter. The Super Bowl we already know about. It is D-Jets. Let's take a look at D-Jets. If we can get there, please. Thank you. I appreciate it. To the Jets, 90 overall team. Obviously, we could have been so much higher if we actually won games and, you know, developed our team because of that. But a lot of guys stuck at start of elementary, and a lot of guys just not getting XP because they're not winning games. Obviously, that plays a huge factor. Looking at the potential dev-ups of the team, we did not see any player go up. Marquise Brown is still star. Rondale Moore has developed pretty far, considering he's like right next to Marquise Brown, despite the fact that, you know, he never was a starter, never had a chance to get to superstar. Something looks like a dev-up. It is. It's Mr. Jervon Dexter. Everyone else already was a superstar on the team, but Jervon Dexter, I don't even remember had a good team or not, or a season or not. 6.5. I mean, 6.5. It's pretty good from the interior. It's just Zach Allen is kind of showing him up. But we have some upgrade points, and then we'll head right on in to potentially the last game of the rebuild. Obviously, if we win, if we don't, it'd be really sad. But the Jets, I suppose, are an 87 overall now. So I didn't see any new names on their front 3. It was like Mekhi Becton, Sauce Gardner, and Quentin Williams. But I would imagine they've got someone new. I don't think they would have rocked it out with Zach Wilson. I'm wrong. Excuse me. Of course, in game, he still is pretty talented. What's his throw power? Like, he still has insane throw power. I mean, he's still really good. Like, medium and short, he's a god. Deep accuracy, who gives a damn about? Who they got a running back? Brees is a 96 over. I mean, they have some talent. They also took Mike Campbell, who was pretty solid. Tyler Conklin even looks decent, but enough of looking at them. It's all about us. Winning a Super Bowl is the goal. Can we achieve it against the Jets of all teams? We got safetied, and they got a field goal. So 5 points off of a safety. Gotta love that. Although here we are up by 2. It seems like the Jets are just that type of team, to just win a game because of a safety. Please don't let it be. Weird score of 17-8, now 17-11, 25-11 in the fourth quarter. Jets not giving up, but I think it's too late as they cannot score. And the Jets have lost. We have won. Here we go with a 35-11 victory. What a weird score, because it's not like a touchdown, 2-point, and a field goal. It was a safety and, 2 or 3 field goals? Oh, my God, what a disaster. But here we are anyways, in the Super Bowl as the champions. Just finally got it put all together. Lowry, maybe he was a big part of it. I can't remember how many sacks he gave up, but being a high overall superstar tackle has to have its perks, right? Taking photos and, definitely savor this, because once Hopkins is gone, we ain't seeing this. We ain't seeing this again. So that window for the Cardinals, not like closed, because it's not really a window as is. There's some potential there. It's just, is he rubbing Kyler's back? That is really strange, but they have some potential. They definitely have a lot of potential for that offense. It's a draft or two away maybe from becoming a powerhouse like it felt like they were going to be last year. Of course, 2 interceptions for Kyler, but still massive 4 touchdown game. Evans has not been the guy, though, I will say. If you can get a new running back, that would be massive for this team. Zach Allen back on the list. Josh Allen with a sack. Gray got involved. Forgot he even exists. Clifton, forgot he even exists, got a pick. Pete Warner and Nick Cross. How are those the names you throw picks to? And then Enriquez, could we, not do that? But a victory against the super talented Jets. Obviously, they're not terrible, but Kyler Murray really didn't develop super high into this one because he got superstar X Factor late, but 91 throw power, 85 deep, 88 medium, 94 short, 91 under pressure, break sacks great, speed is great. I don't know if he would have actually upgraded at all, but yeah, a pretty decent player. Obviously, no look Deadeye is pretty sick, and then tight out for a guy with a good tight end. That's not what I meant. Not bad. I don't want to look at Hopkins because obviously he's on a regression point at this point. Marquise Brown, short routes iffy, medium routes iffy, very fast deep route stuff, but for Madden's concerns, this would be a failed development, right? Like so much speed, get that short, get that medium route and the release and just let him cook. Like you don't need him to go deep just because he's fast. And then Rondale, we know his release never got up, but his short and medium at least is pretty developed. It's pretty decent. Of course, Lowry, not quite the 86 overall we thought he was going to be, but he's a decent overall. Pass block or finesse blocking in general is insane, which I suppose as a tackle is the goal of, those developments. Zierstein, Minor, Minor's new and he's just as good. Didn't really develop these two too well. They did not really do a whole lot. Cody, let's take a look at. He was recently drafted, but turned out to be really good early on. He finally got to 1,000. I wouldn't say finally, but he got to 1,000 yards on the season, which is impressive. Zach Allen, though, talk about a stud. 28 years old, 90 power move, 80, actually close to, didn't quite get to, 78 block shed, but 3 straight seasons of double-digit sacks, which is just crazy as an interior guy. I just did not think he had it in him, and I was wrong. Ringo and Murphy both nearly a 90 overalls. Don't know if Murphy's going to get there, but he's good, really good zone, bad man. Whereas Ringo, I believe, if I looked correctly, really good man, not so good zone, which I suppose in Madden is actually probably the better of the two because man is kind of locked down. And then looking at the other players, Budda Baker, I suppose. He's already a pretty good overall to start, but let's see how he got to. 89 hit power, 89 zone coverage, very athletic. Play rec's great. Awareness is great. Pursuit's great. Tackle's pretty decent. Catching's great. Solid looking player. Then looking at Gray, kind of looking at this in awkward spots. We just got him, but 88 power move already. I will say power move kind of seems sucky from the edge. I don't know why, but like Josh Allen has played really well, and he's a finesse, so that's kind of what I'm basing it off of. Jalen Thompson, of course, zone coverage, only 85, but he is pretty good still. 85, yeah, you can get away with 85. Josh Allen, we already looked at before, but a couple overalls higher than he was before. 96 finesse, 78 block shed, which is insane. That contract was easily worth it for him. Zaven Collins, 85 overall now, 26 years old. Very fast. Block shedding's good. Zone coverage is really good at 81. And then Isaiah Simmons, he's an 89 overall superstar now. What are his ratings? Yep, that's usually what happens. No block shed, but super good coverage. At this point, you almost kind of maybe put him back at safety. I don't know. But that is going to be the team and the results of our Arizona Cardinals realistic style rebuild. If you guys liked it, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, appreciate your continued support a ton. Maybe follow me on Twitter, JeromepkR. And second channel, PKR Plays, just started High on Life yesterday, and it is hilarious. It is a great game, and one of the best games I've played anytime recently, I'll tell you that much, so far at least. Obviously, it could just get repetitive. I don't know, but it's so much fun. You have to check it out. Maybe subscribe when you're over there. Of course, if there's things you didn't like about this video, let me know in the comment section below. You can leave a dislike if you want. It's up to you. And if you have a team you want to see next for a rebuild, let me know in the comment section below. If you have a challenge idea, you know, I like fantasy draft rebuilds, so if you have some sort of challenge for that, maybe we can try that. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys come back for next video, which should be on Monday. And until next video, see ya!